Yes.
Okay, hit me up with them sweet linkies.
Okay,
If
so
you can hear me on stream, by the way.
hopefully you can hear us on stream now. This has been like the third time's a charm.
Maybe.
Um,
Yes, it looks like it's working.
oh, hallelujah. All right,
Now, can you hear us though? Is the question.
let's find out.
Yes. Okay, sweet. I can hear myself. Cool. We're doing it. We've got it working. It's fine. We're here. Round 4 TCAC. Hi. It's fine. TCAC, Curvelo, Retro. Yeah, we're here. Let's do it.
17 corners, 1 hour, reverse grid. It's going to be a fun night.
Yes, it's going to be kind of reverse grid. We got 3 times tire wear on tonight as well. So that means that the tires are going to be extra dead by the end of it. This track is really cool. I really like it, even though I've never heard of it before. So it's going to be a fun time.
Brazil's answer to those Virginia and the Bend and those resort style tracks. There's one in Spain as well, which is awesome. It's going to be good.
Really? Oh, nice.
Going to be good passing, and because it's such a technical circuit, how you flow the car is going to be a big deal around here.
Yeah, especially in these cars, which are just like all power and no grid you the wrong way. Kind of like, remember when we did Barber Motorsport Park round 2 of TCAC, the first series, how that back section, if you got like a little bit out of the groove, you just find your way into the wall. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's yeah, it's great. I think is Barber also one of those resort style tracks?
I am not sure.
I think it might be.
I'd love to go there. By the way, if we sound a little frazzled, it's because we were meant to start 10 minutes ago and we've been trying to work out technical difficulties since then. So we've started talking about this like 3 times.
Automobilista Racing Australia. OZTCAC Championship. Let's do it.
Okay, so while it looks like the guys are still in their briefing, let's talk a little bit about the format for tonight. So it is different than it has been in the past TCAC round. So if you've been watching TCAC this season, it has been a 25-minute race 1 with a 10-minute qualifying and then a reverse grid race 2 at 35 minutes. Tonight, it is one 60-minute race at 3 times tire wear with the grid positions set at the reverse of the average finishing positions this series so far. So that means that the guys like Glenn Miles and Rhodey and I think that's Stuart G? I don't know. So this grid document I've got has got really dumb names for everyone, but it's basically the further down that they've been finishing, the further up they're qualifying. They're on the grid today.
Yeah. And we also don't... So it's going to be interesting to see how they go. And of course, I don't have the weight graphic either. Have you got that on hand?
Yes, I do. So the heaviest guys tonight are Brenton Hobson on the 50 kilo limit, and then Ozrob and Davian Rasmussen at 30 kilos each. And that is because, well, they've just been really good so far this series. Will Devonish in 3rd place of the championship has 0 weight added to his car, which is really good for him. But he is still 25 points behind Brenton Hobson already, which is a full race win at this stage. So he's going to make the good use of his lighter car if he wants to start getting that point advantage back.
I've already been corrected in chat. Barber Motorsport Park was actually a training track set up by Skip Barber himself.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
So not a resort.
No. So if you want to correct me in chat, abuse us, feel free to.
Abuse Kiwi, not me.
Yeah, please. We made it finally.
As you can tell, we are a professional organization with professional streams, and we are at the absolute maximum of our capabilities at 100% of the time.
Oh yeah. And how do we compare to the guys that Hobbo had presenting his thing?
Yeah, I guess they were all right. So for those who don't know, our resident series alien, Brenton Hobson, is actually running in the V8 Supercars E-Series, which debuted last night. He had a bit of a mixed night. Didn't quite get the results that he might have been after. But if you did miss that and you do want to check it out, you can find it on like YouTube, Facebook, KO, basically any platform that does sports, because they kind of pushed it super hard.
Excellent. Oh, yeah, so I'm still just getting over the fact that I actually got this to work finally.
We did it!
Oh dear. So, what are we going to get tonight?
I think we're going to get... we're we're gonna get a game crash from me. It seems. I think based on the qualifying practice times, there was a few guys who really stood out, and one of them was Damien Rasmussen. In the practice session, he was the only one to dip under a 2:15 at this 4.5 kilometer circuit, and he put in a 2:13.5. So if you notice, that's a pretty big gap. And he did that after a few laps as well. So I would not be surprised to see him take the ascendancy throughout the evening. However, we didn't get any laps from Hobson, so we don't know what he was able to do. And at the end of the day, this is an hour-long endurance race.
An hour-long endurance
Pardon me,
race.
with three times tire wear. So could be anything happening tonight.
Which is about to get underway any moment of the top clock now. We have the grid starting to form up. So on the pole will be Glenn Miles in the Playboy Escort. Second place will be Rhodey in the Jaegeru Motorsport Delara, which apparently is not a road car, so I've been told.
Oof.
Yeah. Third place will be Cam Rutledge in the Escort, flashing his lights. Thank you, sir. The Saudi Camel, Mr. Mike, is going to be in fourth place in his Alfa Romeo. Fifth place, Steve Bolger in the Gravel Rash Racing Beamer. Sixth place will be Luke Joyner in the MHRT Tirana, of course. Scotty G in the SSR Escort. Termo in the Mobile One Racing Tirana. And Damien Rasmussen in his Tirana. And Scott Murrell running out the 10 in his Cancer Porsche. 16 drivers here today. 11th place will be Scott Nolan in his Porsche as he gets away very slowly for the formation lap. 12th place Will Devonish in his Opel, which has gone into the pit lane and retired from the race. Okay.
Weird.
13th place, we have issues, it looks like. 13th place, Odds Rob and JP Shimshed Porsche. 14th place, Nathan Higginson. Now, this is a name I'm not familiar with.
Nathan Higginson has he's just joined the server overall. He has been putting together some V8 Supercars classic mods on the Facebook page. So if you've seen him on the Facebook page, that's the Nathan Higginson that we're talking about.
Excellent. We must be having issues. Everyone's out.
Everyone's having issues. Just to round out what would have been the grid, we would have had David Keane and Josh Ben in, I think, guest cars. So that would have been the grid, but it looks like there has been some level of technical difficulties. Everyone's having technical difficulties tonight, which is brilliant.
What a night.
Apparently, Resident Alien Brenton Hobson crashed on the entry of the game, and also Luke Joyner, so that's why we didn't get started.
Awesome. Don't you love Australian internet?
No. Nope.
No.
Oh, well.
What was no about the internet or my singing?
Oh, what is going on? What is going on tonight?
Oh, God. Is it a full moon out?
No, I feel like the full moon was last week.
Maybe I'm just delirious about what's going on in my life. But anyway, we're moving on.
Yeah, fair enough. You'd be allowed to be.
Yeah. Moving on, we have an hour. Oh, that's good. So apparently AMS updated over the weekend and things have gone to pot. Yes.
So this is something, if you're not an AMS regular or someone who doesn't play Automobilista, they pushed out an update of the weekend to, I think this was as a bit of a bug fix for the new tracks, the new track pack that they brought out. And apparently it has caused some level of issue, not just with game crashing, but also with force feedback problems and stuff like that. So, pardon me, a lot of what's been happening, at least on the back end of AMS Oz, is trying to solve these issues so that way we continue to run these sort of series. So, unfortunately, it looks like some of the people who haven't had a chance to do that have encountered some level of problems.
Well, while we're doing that, let's take a look at the back of their pole setter's car, because that's what I've done on stream. I love that he's got an L plate. I can't go faster. It's a Ford, which I find really offensive. But you know,
Ouch.
yep. Has anyone else got any?
Just quickly,
Yep.
while we're looking at the Team Playboy Miles car, shout out to Walshy, the other Team Playboy car. Again, not with us this evening due to some other commitments. So we'll hope to see you back soon. And also, if we're finally on the stream, I will say another quick shout out to Coops, who hopefully is watching tonight. And we'll hope to see both of you back racing with us again very, very shortly.
Indeed. No one else has got any abuse on the back of their cars. I'm so disappointed.
So why? Oh, someone's got high hobo on the back of their car. That's Damien Rasmussen. That's funny. I like that.
Oh, good God.
That's good. That's just rubbing it in a little bit.
Yep. There's some really gorgeous cars here, I've got to say.
Yeah, they on the whole the AMS Oz TCAC retro mod overall just has been very well received in general from what I've seen. Not only the people in the series, but the people watching some of the other drivers. So, for example, last week at Sandown, which we weren't able to stream, unfortunately, because both Kiwi and I had other commitments that came up. Mm-hmm. We had a few guys who I think I recognize from the AMS V8 Supercars series. So that runs ASC, which runs parallel to AMS Oz. They came along and ran a few races, and they got immediately given the full weight penalty and was still faster than a few of these guys.
Excellent.
Yeah, so it's cool to see that a lot of other people are enjoying watching this series and enjoying being a part, because I think these cars, they look like a lot of fun to drive, to be honest. And the racing that we've had has been really, really cool.
No doubt. While we're waiting for the countdown to count down, let's have a look at where we're going after here. So, after tonight, we have 2 races at Interlagos and Ibarra, 1 race at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, 2 at Oran Park, 2 at Alton Park, and 2 at Santa Cruz del Sol to round us out at the end of November. So, there's some interesting tracks there as well.
Man, Oran Park, that's a circuit I haven't heard of in a long time. I'm really keen to jump onto that again. Yes. And follow that up with Alton Park and the Island Circuit, so the shorter version of the Alton Park. That one's going to be frantic. The lap times there are going to be in the less than a minute bracket. So that's going to be a really cool way to close out the season.
Absolutely. So it looks like we're slowly getting our cars back on track for attempt 2. Please no crash, Reno.
Yeah, save that for the first corner.
Yeah, well, I mean, it'd be hilarious on stream, but no. Maybe not.
Oop.
This is not going well tonight.
Everything's broken. It's not just us.
Everything is broken.
So we are being a bit like laissez-faire with things at the moment, but it was a bit of a frantic mess trying to get all this to come together. So we are just trying to find our breath. So on the note of the Sandown round that we missed, we do have replays for that. Apparently 23 cars on the grid. So that's going to be an absolute time to try and process through that. But we are planning to do a replay and upload of that at some point in the near future, I hope, alongside all the other projects Kiwi and I have going at the moment.
Speaking of which, that includes Endurance Chat, which, by the way, we do have to do an episode for, because what endurance race is coming up? I'm not sure.
There's a lot of endurance races.
I mean,
6 hours.
I mean, you got the 6 hours of
Fuji.
Of Fuji, yes. But
and then the Petite Le Mans.
Yeah, and I think there's
that other one.
Yeah, what is it? Was it the 600 Ks of Bathurst or something?
Yeah. So for those who have heard of the two of us doing jobs before, we had a project called Supercars Chat, which unfortunately fell by the wayside this season, but we're bringing it back.
Yeah.
We're going to talk some V8 Supercars heading into the Bathurst round and the Enduros, of which I will be actually at one again this year, which will be really exciting.
Yes, you're coming all the way to Melbourne to go to Sandown.
Yeah. So that's something I did last year. My first interstate trip as a marshal, I went to Sandown last year, which would have been about this time of year actually, because
Hmm.
they had it swapped
Because
around.
the calendar wasn't
Um,
messed up.
yeah. Well, that's a rabbit hole to not get into
Yeah.
right now.
But also, I
um,
have to come your way next year for an enduro myself.
yeah. So next year, the V8 Supercars has announced that the Bend will host the 500k precursor to Bathurst, which is pretty exciting because yeah, I think it's just a cool track.
Hmm. Oh god, that means I have to make 2 trips to Adelaide for endurance races.
Hey,
Yes, my legs already booked for
you'll
the.
have to hang out with me in real life again.
Hello, is that my travel agent? Yeah, can I cancel that trip to Adelaide? Thank you. Last restart, so this is it. Anyone who bombs out now, sorry, we're going without you.
Oof. To be fair, that was also the stream situation.
Yeah. I was looking forward to an early night tonight.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah. So, if you have anything you want to say in chat, feel free. Please, give us something to do.
To be fair, we did like start this. Go ahead.
Go on.
Okay, I was gonna say. To be fair, we did like go through our normal intro the first time and have it all very nice and pretty, and the second time was okay. We'll go through it a bit quicker, and then the third time was oh my god, we're streaming. So
Yeah.
you know, we this is like our third go at it, and
Yeah.
I think this is also the game's third go at it as well.
Yep.
At least we're not doing qualifying as well, because if we had to do qualifying and then we had these problems, it would just be an absolute mess.
Mm-hmm. So the grid is now being set. We're just waiting on the game to think about, or the organisers think about getting there. So yeah, this track, 2014 was when it was conceived. So it's a really recent addition. They're trying to get MotoGP here.
MotoGP here would be real cool, I reckon, based on what I'm seeing from the circuit. And the reason I say that is because a lot of these corners are very very nicely cambered, so they're looking really, really cool to sort of drive around and scoot around. And I think, given enough laps, you'd be able to find lines where drivers could run side by side. So if you extrapolate that to motorbikes, where you've got like a Moto 3 around a place like this would just be an absolute madhouse.
So I'm seeing 16 cars on grid, waiting on Mr. number 17.
Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Josh Ben is the last one to jump on the track. Fingers crossed he gets on.
Please? Yes, he's on. Okay, can we do this? Can we do this? We've lost one. No, we haven't. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Fingers crossed for the actual no one crashing.
Oh, we did lose Josh Ben.
Oh. Okay.
We're moving?
Well, it looks like we're going to go
Looks
straight.
like we're moving.
Yeah, we're moving. Excellent. So there's Glenn Wiles in the Playboy machine. We'll start this race from pole. Roadie next to him. That's the front row that's going to strike fear into a number of people's hearts.
Oof. When they watch this back, they're going to be very, very unhappy with that.
I know. Hey, I ragged on Roadie for 8 hours straight in a commentary last week, so he can cope with it.
Ouch. 8 hours. Oh.
Well, at that that's 1,000.
Yeah, fair enough.
By the last couple of hours, we were dead.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Cam Rutledge in third, the CRE racing machine. That's a great livery. Camel in fourth, Mike Coulston. Steve Bolgen fifth in the Batmobile. Oh, where is the actual Batmobile tonight?
Yeah, it doesn't look like either of the Cracker Racing team guys are here, which is a real shame, but oh well, you can't get to all of them, it looks like.
True. Luke Joyner coming in sixth in the MHRT machine. Seventh place will be Scotty G, the SSR 71. Eighth place, Termo in the Tirana, followed by Tirana teammate, or not his Tirana mate, in Damien Rasmussen, who's been very quick around here.
Yes, yes, he has been.
Scott Merrill in the 9-1 Flat Spot Racing Porsche. Scott Nolan in the SSR 18 Porsche. Will Devonish.
Of course, both the Scots are next to each other.
Yeah, of course, but it's been this way all day. All series.
Yeah.
Will Devonish in his Opel. Is it a Manta?
I think it's just an Opel GT.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that though.
Okay. JP Simshed entry of Ozrob in 13th place. There's Hobson in 14th. 15th will be David Keane. And 16th, Nathan Higginson. So our 2 newcomers starting at the back of the grid.
So they miss out on all the reverse grid shenanigans, but we might see them make their way through the field. I actually think where Mike Coulston's position, he would be my pick to win this race. Now, I'm basing that on the fact that he had the 3rd fastest lap time, and he was consistent when he was putting these lap times in earlier on the day in practice. So watch that Alpha from 4th position. He's gonna be hard to catch if he gets that clean air very early on.
Excellent. We'll keep an eye on that one for sure. I'm just trying to up the stream quality a bit to see if I can get rid of some of the buffering issues. Be nice. So what are we going to see in this next 60 minutes?
Carnage, chaos. No, that's a bit mean. I think because it's a 1 hour event, people might have a bit more sense about them. The tire wear is going to be 3 times, so expect that to play into things. And a lot of the corners here are pretty high load corners, so we might see a few 1 or 2 oversteer incidents, and especially at the end of the race when they're trying to survive to the finish.
Well, of course, these cars have undergone a bit of a change to try and make them a bit more drivable. So we'll see. Might not be as bad.
Yeah, maybe. There is apparently some changes made to the base mod to just sort of fix some of the issues that people were having with regards to brake stability and like hitting the curbs and launching. So there is some good adjustments that have been made, and hopefully we get to see some close racing because of it.
Absolutely. And so we're coming up to the grid now. Ben Miles taking his position on a pole. There it is. Roddy in second. So it's going to be a great first lap. We'll watch from Roddy's position and see where we go. It's a bit of a decent run down to the first corner as well, which is going to be interesting because it's a weird shape as well. It's going to catch a few cars out, I reckon.
Yeah, it's a bit of a boot, so we'll see. We'll see, fingers crossed, how everyone goes.
Last car just getting into position now. Here we go. And we are away. Great start from Roddy, it's got to be said. Launched off the line like a rocket. He's got himself
and neither of the second row got away, so they've got already the front two have just exploded from the front of the field.
Yeah, we see the 71 diving down the inside of Glenn Miles to take second spot away from him. And the 2 Tiranas getting pretty... Oh, Glenn Miles on the inside of turn 2.
Yeah, it was 4 wide in the entry there, and Rasmussen's gone off the inside. I think that's... who is that? It's Brenton Hobson. So the 2 big players at the front of the field already out of the back of the pack. And
Rasmussen got connected as well by our newcomer as well as he rejoined the circuit. So that's going to require a replay. So we can get that up in quick time, eh? Okay, so let's just check out what happened here. So Rasmussen was a bit slow coming through turn 2. And just... I think he went across the front of Hobson.
Yeah, I think there was definitely contact there between Hobson and Rasmussen, which pitched both of them to the inside, and then as Rasmussen returned to the circuit, I think that was... who was that in the back there? David Keane just really had nowhere to go as he swung back across the circuit.
Meanwhile, we have a new leader. Scotty G. Looks like Roddy's made a mistake. He's actually dropped quite a number of positions.
That's an angry pack in the middle. Roddy's now in, I think it's 7th or 8th position, and there's about 5 or 6 cars where only 1 or 2 should be able to fit through. As they climb through that little pinch point, they all managed to sort it out very, very nicely. But it was real close there for a second.
It was. We can see one of our newcomers, Nathan Higginson. So he's only 16 apparently.
Yeah, so I heard. Somehow he's been allowed to join what can be a very rowdy chat room.
Yeah. I was going to say there's a reason we don't broadcast their chat, but...
Yeah, that is definitely true. Definitely true.
But yeah, he's going to... Considering he started at the back of the grid, he's now 7th.
Yeah, up 9 positions. I mean, he's had a bit of help because there's been a few cars around him that have had problems as Scott Nolan dies on the inside of, I think that was Steve Bolger to take 4th. But he has to close the door back because Bolger has the overlap on the outside. Gets it done very nicely. So yeah, Higginson doing very, very well. He's about to lose a position to Will Devonish coming through the field. But at the front, it is Scotty G and Mike Coulston setting the pace. They've got a 3-second gap already, 4-second gap already to Termo in third place.
That's an impressive margin to start the race. Of course, being an hour, and this track being as flowy as it is, it's much about getting into your groove.
Definitely.
As we see Devonish and Higginson on it again. Coming through there.
Oh,
that's...
there's a wiggle. He's going to hold it. He's held it.
Oh. Okay, Red Foo.
Oh, damn. He was well out of shape there, and I think Devonish would have been just absolutely crapping himself at the prospect of Higginson spinning it around right in front of him. So that would not have been an easy incident to avoid.
No, not at all. Higginson gets a bit of a... I don't know if it goes a bit wide there, but Devonish down the inside into the next left-hander and gets the move done.
I think it was only a matter of time, really. Devonish is one of the top guys in this series. So
skipping back behind them, looks like Luke Joyner's under attack from Cam Rutledge as well for 10th.
Rutledge started very high up in the field. He was third off the line. So, in fact, he's got Rhodey, who was second ahead of him.
No, he's
now
not anymore. Yeah. Of course, we've got to remember, these are fast guys behind them.
This is true. And even the likes of Rasmussen and Hobson, as Hobson just takes a little bit of an excursion through the gravel at turn, I think that's turn 9, or turn 10, rather. Yeah, these guys are going to be coming up behind them pretty quick. Maybe not so much Rasmussen or Keane, because they've had contact which might have given them damage. But I'll keep an eye on them and keep an eye on their lap times to see how they go.
Absolutely.
Really, this battle pack from 3rd to 8th at the moment.
Oh, Scotty G's off.
Yellow flag.
Scotty G's off. The leader has gone off. And he's struggling to get going. There he goes. And he's hit the sidewall again. That's a big moment. What's happened there? Just trying to figure this out. So going to the replay. Gets it a bit... No, he looks okay so far. Has he just driven off the track?
Nah, he had a bit of a moment.
Oh, there he goes. Yep, there's the moment. Bit of oversteer and... Oh, that was all she wrote.
Yeah, because there's a little bit of a crest there at turn... I think that's turn 13. I don't have a track map up next to me, so I'm still learning where all the angles are. But there's a little bit of a crest there, and it looks like he just picked up the power just as the crest came along. And yeah, that was enough to send him off to the inside wall. Oh, and just quickly, we've got Higginson, who's had a moment in 8th place. He's binned it off the side of the circuit. Don't know how he's done that, because that should be in a straight line. What's happened there?
Wow, this is action-packed. Let's try and figure that one out too. Okay, so he's got Devonish ahead of him. He's got no one behind him. Has he just gassed it up a bit too early?
Yeah, he's done it himself.
He has. Yep. Yeah, just a bit of grass and away he goes. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. No, that time.
Yeah, exactly right. So couldn't save it like he did on the first lap, or second lap rather. But yeah, what this has done though is this left Mike Coulston out the front with a 5-second gap over the Angry Battle Pack for second, which is now Termo, Scott Nolan, Steve Bolger, Scott Murrell, and Ozrob, with about a second or two buffer back to Will Devonish. And then it's a bit more spread out as the field that has run into problems or is just slowly stretching out the back there.
We'll get up to that battle pack now and just see how things are going, because Termo's going to be under pressure here in the next 2 laps, I'd imagine. Scott Nolan,
well, he's
looking pretty racy.
He's been under pressure for the whole race. Now both of them have come up from the back end of the grid. So Scott Nolan up 8th from 11th, and Termo up 6th from 8th. So they've come a pretty fair way. And they're both pretty competitive drivers, so I wouldn't be surprised to see some vigorous defending and some vigorous attacking as Nolan moves to the inside. Yeah, to try and make that move, but he's on the outside for this next section, so he's going to have to try and make the switch back. Termo goes wide. Scott Nolan drives up the inside. They make a little bit of contact, but Nolan has the ascendancy there as we see Murrell on the just sliding on the outside as they come onto the main straight.
That was actually a really good move.
Yeah, very well worked from Nolan, and we see a string of new fastest laps. It's actually Steve Bolger who's got the fastest lap now, 2:15.8, as this battle pack comes into the first section.
Yeah, Mike Coulston's dropped half a second there as well, so these guys, even though they're battling hard, they're actually making a bit of ground too, and so that's perfect for them.
Yeah, I think though with the 3 times tire wear is Ozrob's got to move on Morrill in the background, and Rasmussen sets the fastest lap of the race at 15.4. I think with the 3 times tire wear, Mike has a bit of an advantage here because he's got the clean air to work in. He can kind of just focus on his own thing. Whereas these guys, the Nolans, the Termos, the Bulgers, they're in a heated battle pack as Morrill makes the move back on Ozrob, which means that they're going to be using more of their tire, and potentially that might pay dividends for Coulson at the end of the stint.
Well, while we're talking tyres, we should talk... Oh, I was going to talk about strategy. Ozrob just got a massive slide through there and it's going to get it down the inside of Scott Morrill.
That's actually a very, very good move. That's actually the type of move I was talking about into turn 7 there. Just kind of letting the front of the car float wide to give you the inside ride into turn 7. That's a pretty cool move. I did very much like that move. Anyway, sorry, tyres, yes?
Yes. So at 3 times tyre wear, what are we going to see pit stop wise? Because in the shorter races within 2 times tyre wear, where they're pitting about 12, 15 minutes.
Yeah, sorry, I've just been having an eye on Termo, who goes off the track again. Yeah, he came through the bottom of the hill absolutely sideways.
There we
managed
go.
to get it on the black stuff and then spat it out the other side also sideways.
All right, this is going to be worth a replay. Let's see what he's done here. So coming through the back half of the track now to the straight with the hill. How's that for description? Whoa, that is side. Well, that is a lot of opposite lock.
Yeah.
How he held that as well as he did, I have no idea.
Right? That's not going to be good for the tyres. That's going to be absolutely torching them.
Yeah.
And while all this has been going on, it looks like Scott Nolan might be about to set a new fastest lap here.
There it is,
yes,
2:15.2. Good lap.
Yeah,
So-
very good lap.
So can we get onto this tyre point?
Yeah, so there's this tyre point. Sorry, you were saying tyres.
So what are we thinking about? 20, 25 minutes for a stint?
So the thing is, in those... Oh, yeah, maybe. I think this will be a 2-stop race, though. I think if you want to have decent tyre life throughout the race, you need to make it a 2-stop race. Maybe even a 3-stop, depending on how aggressive the tyre wear is. I'm not 100% sure, because we were seeing pit stops in the shorter races at about 12, 15 minutes. But again, you could do that because you only had like one race. Well, sorry, you had to make a pit stop anyway. So pitting in the middle would make it, logical sense. Mm-hmm. So, but we did see at Winton, guys like Ozrob and Hobson pit very early on and then managed to hold their tires to the end. So yeah, maybe 15-minute to 20-minute stints would be what you'd expect here.
Okay, cool. We've got our eyes on the front as Mike Coulson gets a very, very wide into the grass through whatever turn that was. I don't have a track marker either. This is professional. But his gap out front is halved to Scott Nolan.
And I think the reason for that is that Coulson, while he's quick over a single lap, one thing that he maybe doesn't have is that consistency to keep banging out that same lap again and again and again and again and again and again and again.
And again.
Yeah, and again. And in a longer race where you have to be kind to the tyres, that's kind of what you need. Like, just looking at the last lap, Nolan put in a 12.9, which is a pretty damn good lap. Coulson was a 16.9. So it was just a very big difference there. And again, this lap, it's all in the middle sector so far. Oh, he's got a tyre there?
Yep, I think we have our first retirement of the race. David Keane has just gassed it up and is... Hopefully we'll see a tyre pop on the screen. Maybe not. Yeah, there it is. And that's why, unfortunately, Keane has retired from this race. Which is a shame.
Oh, that's a real shame.
He wasn't involved in that lap 1 incident as well, so not the best races for him. Looking at Glenn Miles here in 15th place. That just... Oh, I've done it already. Went the wrong way. So that gap out front, now down to 1.7 seconds. So yeah, Nolan's really got the hammer down.
Yeah, he really has. I'm just trying to figure out whether or not that could cause him to run into problems at the end of the stint, though. That's the thing. So we are already about 12 minutes into the race. So the fact that Mike's had this allowance at the front has meant that he's probably been allowed to set some just sort of cleaner times.
Mm-hmm.
But then, of course, it's a matter of how much tire is he using in those clean laps. How much is Nolan using? Nolan's got clean air as well since he's passed Turmo. So it's a very, very complex thing. And I don't think we'll be able to see a clean picture of where we are in this race until the very end.
That's how we like your endurance races.
I do really like that endurance racing like that. Yeah, I did the GT3 series at Spa a few weeks ago, and that was like I had a notepad and everything was scratching my head, and in the end, it was like 0.008 of a second or something was the final gap. So that was so good. Love my endurance racing like that.
Awesome. So we're just looking at Brenton Hobson here, down in 12th after his first lap shenanigans. 28 seconds off the lead, and he's still got Damien Rasmussen ahead of him.
Yeah,
where's he going to wind up? Is he playing the long game, maybe trying to take out a stop?
Yeah, Hobbo would do that, wouldn't he? That would be the kind of strategy he would make. I'm just trying to figure out, though, where has Rasmussen gotten back ahead of him? Because after that first lap incident, Rasmussen was behind him, definitely. So, unless he's had another incident... No, his lap times are just in the 18s, 19s. Whereas the guys at the front are in the 16s or 15s. A 15.24 for Scott Nolan now.
Okay, just to do some quick math. So at 4 seconds a lap, the lap's 2 minutes long, so 120. He could make it work.
2 minutes 15 long.
Yeah, sorry.
So that's 135.
He could make a one-stop work.
Oh, I doubt it would be a one-stop. Be very brave to make a one-stop work. I think it would be more likely two, as we've got a yellow flag in Sector 1, and Scotty G's off again in the first corner.
I've gone the wrong way to find him. There he is.
He's in 10th place.
Yeah, got him now. I should have just got... Instead of pushing down 2, I pushed up 12 times. There he goes. Oh, that front end's really caved in.
That might have been from that earlier contact. And yeah, a similar thing again, just... getting the car, it's on the change of direction where it's not only a change of direction but a change in camber. So the road
through 1 and 2.
helps.
Oh yeah, there he goes.
Yeah, so it was the same issue last time that he had that spin. So just picking up the throttle at the wrong point in the camber transition, which means it spun the rear wheels, and that was all she wrote.
Well, he recovered it pretty quickly too.
Yeah, he did get back on track fairly nicely. Oh, and it looks like Mike Coulston's had a problem. Yeah, in Sector 1, his first sector, 55 seconds. So 9 seconds slower than the guys around him.
And he's off track again. Yeah, he's off track. He's well off track.
Something's gone wrong there. He might be encountering some lag issues, it might look like.
Yep. He's... Yeah, this is unfortunate.
That's weird. Yeah, it's real weird.
He must be having wheel issues.
Maybe. We have seen in the new update, we made mention of it at the top of the show, there have been some issues with force feedback with the new AMS update. Is he going to be able to get going again?
He is. That was utterly bizarre.
Real weird.
Yeah. I can't get a replay of how far back he went off, but that's put him down to 13th place. That's a mega shame.
Real shame. He was doing very, very well at the top of the field.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that really... Yeah. Saudi internet's very possible. Thanks, Scoops. So what that does mean is Scott Nolan is now in the lead of the race. 1.5 seconds ahead of Turmo.
And Turmo's not letting him go, though, because last lap, Scott Nolan's 16 flat, Turmo 15.5. So Turmo's not letting him get away, and he's just trying to cling on to him. The gap is about a second. And on top of that, last lap around, Steve Bolger had the purple first sector before Brenton Hobson took it. So Hobbo must have heard us talking about him and decided that he's going to put the hammer down, because his first sector last lap around was a 47.6, and in fact he was a 16 flat for the lap. So looks like he's pulled his finger out a little bit.
Yeah, I think they both rounded up Scotty G as well. So got eyes here on Oz Robin Will Devonish for 4th and 5th. They're right on each other. Devonish looking a lot better through that complex of corners, but it's a long race. I don't know whether you necessarily want to go for the move right now.
Well, remember, Devonish hasn't got any weight behind him, whereas Ozrob has, I think it was 30
Ooh!
kilos.
Sorry to interrupt. Scotty G has just retired from the race.
Oh no! Oh, what happened?
I'll see if I can figure that one out. I wonder if it's just an accumulation of damage.
Oh, he does look like a very long way off the circuit from the half replay that I got.
Yeah, no, I'm guessing he's just pulled off. Yeah, that's what the replay shows. He just pulled off and driven it to a spot where he can retire from the race.
Dang.
Oh, dang it.
Oh, that's a shame.
I hate to see drivers retiring this early in an endurance race as well.
Yeah, we are only about 18 minutes in, so yeah, it's a real shame as we got Nathan Higginson off. He's held it. Okay, that's fine. I'm just like scrolling through the field and I just saw a Porsche sideways in the dust.
We do have a yellow flag for some reason.
And it's Steve Bolger heading into the last corner. He's gotten well out of shape, and both Ozrob and Devonish managed to miss him, but he's now dropped from 3rd place to
Whoa,
5th.
we have a pit caller.
Yep, and that's Ozrob, first one in the bunch. Okay, I'm going to get my notepad out because this is going to get nutty.
This is going to get notepaddy indeed. Ozrob pit 1 at 41 minutes.
Remaining, so...
Yes, that's what I do. Oh, we have a car backwards on the front straight. That is Nathan Higginson backwards on the front straight as well.
Jeez, these guys aren't giving us any rest. What's going on?
Come on, guys. So this has been a frantic first 20 minutes of the race. What on earth happened to Higo? Has he just done it on his own? Yep, bit of dirt. Oh, that's the corner before. Ooh.
Now, is there contact there?
There was definite contact there between him and the machine of Damien Rasmussen.
Oh, nasty.
I don't think it was anything untoward, but there was definite contact there.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, that was nasty. I just found it back on my replay now. Yeah, well, we have seen penalties given for less already this series. Admittedly, they are just warnings so far. But remember, I think it was Hobson at Donington had a penalty. Well, had a warning for a tag on Luke Joyner as Joyner was just about to come into the pits. So, yeah, it might be. We might see something like that be dished out to Rasmussen. Although it did look like it was a matter of returning to the circuit in an unnatural way, maybe? I'm not sure.
Yeah. I don't think there's too much to worry about on that one, in all honesty. Fair bump play on. Also, I love the fact that Damien Rasmussen's bumper is actually lying true at the moment. Hi, Hobbo, as they both go around Luke Joyner. Well, one of them anyway.
Oh, not quite. Hobson has to get cut off short as they go through the middle part of the lap. And Higginson... Oh, wait, no, I was watching the wrong battle. I was just watching Higginson just get it sideways. So both Hobson and Rasmussen have made it around Joyner. Hobson gets a bit out of shape. Joyner comes back on the inside as they head into turn 16. Hobson gets it done. So both Hobson and Rasmussen are marching their way back up the field at the moment, which is nice for them. In fact, yeah, they're slowly coming back. Both up positions from where they started from. And remember, they had that first lap incident as well. So these guys are going to be charging up through the field. They're in 6th and 7th now. Excellent. And before long, that could be 3rd and 4th.
Now, we need to get Coops a whiteboard because he's playing pit reporter at the moment. Scotty G's had some hardware issues, so that's why he's no longer in the race.
That's a shame. Is Coops in the chat? Like, is he just in the room bantering with people?
Don't know. I'm watching his YouTube chat. If you are in the chat, Coops, tell them all to drive faster.
Worth.
That gap out front's actually gone out a bit as well. Now 2.3 seconds between Nolan and Turmo.
And that's, I think, because Nolan's set the last few laps of his in the 15s, while Turmo's been in the 16s. And Devonish is actually now up into 3rd, making the pass on Steve Bolger. So Devonish up 9 positions from where he started.
Not bad.
But yeah, the thing is, though, he's 9 seconds behind Turmo.
He's good enough to make that up, though, especially when he's not carrying any weight in that car that weighs already nothing.
Yeah, that's gonna be an advantage for him,
especially for tyres as well.
Exactly right. That was the point I was about to make, especially for the tires. And importantly, he is also quite a few seconds ahead of Morrill, who has just been passed by Rasmussen for fifth. So
Ooh.
while Hobson and Rasmussen have had to fight their way back, Devonish has also already got a pretty decent advantage over the pair of them.
Yes. Now we're going to come into some lap traffic pretty soon as well. Looks like Scotty Nolan. Yeah, he's actually already passed Glenn Miles, as has Turmo.
Oh wow, when did that happen?
So that was that lap just gone.
You're right too.
So our pit reporter says no, just YouTube and Discord text. So we'll downgrade his whiteboard to a blackboard.
We'll give him an abacus.
We'll give him
See how he goes.
Yeah. No one else has come into the pits yet. Which is a bit surprising.
Yeah, I would have thought with 3 times tyre wear that they might want to take some more pits. Although with the brand new tyres, Ozrob is already setting fastest sector times, a 43.8 in the middle sector,
Woohoo.
which is I think the first middle sector under the 44. So he is flying on those new tyres, and I think it's also thanks to having some clean air around him.
As we just said, Scott Murrell get it a little bit wrong coming out of the second corner. Saves it, but then goes wide at the third corner.
So he's had to cede to both Hobbo and Rasmussen. He's got Luke Joyner behind him as well, but that should be a much more even battle, I think.
Rasmussen took an interesting line through that complex of corners, and he's actually got a fair bit ahead of Hobbo.
I don't think they're racing each other at this stage. I think the pair of them are just focusing on just finding their way back up to the head of the field. Although in saying that, Rasmussen's first sector there, a brand new purple first sector, 47.2. So he's got the gas on, and he's looking like, now that he's finally got clean air, he might be able to put a bit of fire to the end of that Tirana.
Excellent. Meanwhile, Devonish Bolger is not going anywhere. They're still on each other like a wet blanket.
Ew.
Yeah, I know. Clingy.
I'm
Ugh. Ugh. Shall I go?
I'm leaving that well enough alone.
Yeah.
I'm not going.
Yeah. Let's find Mike Holston. He's in 10th place. He's having a bit of a torrid time of it the last couple of laps. He looked like.
Oh no! I'm going to interrupt you and get you to go to 8th, where Scott Murrell has just spun off the track at turn 9 on the entry. Now, was there contact involved there, or did he just get it wrong by himself?
Well, he's got no one around him on my replay, so let's see what he's done here. Bit of grass, all good so far. And he just hit the best lap too. I think. Ooh. Grass, curb, spin. Wall.
And that was a big hit on the wall as well.
Yeah. He was
and
on.
he looks like he's got damage because his front end of the car is just not playing nice at the moment.
No, it can't be too damaged. He just went past the pit lane. Oh, check out that fastest lap for Rasmussen. 2:15.090.
Now, if that was in the practice session, that would have been the 3rd best lap of the session. Sorry, he would have been the 3rd best driver in the session. But instead, he put in a 13 in the practice session. So let's see if he can lower that mark even further. Because if he can, I would be well impressed. Oh, by the way, we got Hobson, Joyner, and Bolger in the pits.
I was going to say they just dropped down my leaderboard, so yes. So all that in the pits that lap?
Yes.
So Bolger...
That is with 33 minutes remaining,
yep.
Meaning 26 minutes on track and on lap 11 for those 3 drivers.
Hobson and Joyner, 33. So that's right on the one. That's right on the blah 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 blah
blah blah blah blah.
That's right on the one-stop window.
Yeah, that is actually. So ignore everything I said about maybe wanting to do 2 or 3 stops earlier in the race. It turns out I have no idea what I'm talking about. Apparently.
Yeah, well, you're
but
not.
I mean, we knew that already.
We knew that already. If 4 seasons of the world's most famous podcast hadn't told you that.
Oh, don't even.
Yeah.
What that has done is that's actually left Will Devonish off the hook a bit. So he's now kind of just in his own world. So that means he can focus on hunting down, is it Turmo ahead of him?
I think it is, yes.
Yeah.
And a good 10 seconds ahead. As my Slack's going off and picking up in screen. But
it looks like we've lost Rhodey from 13th.
he's down to 3rd.
He's
Oh yeah, that's not where you're supposed to park your car.
No.
I'm assuming that's just a park and not a crash. Let's see what the replay tells us. Coming onto the front straight. He's just lagged out, I think.
Oh no. While that's happening, sorry, Hobson's just
Whoa,
spun it
Hobbo!
in the middle of the bottom of the hill, basically. I think that's at turn 10. Trying to go around the outside of Luke Joyner. Got it a little crossed up, and then there was just nowhere for him to recover. So he was off in the grass, off in the gravel, and then was lost 9 seconds on the battle that he was having with Luke.
That's unfortunate for Hobbo.
A little bit. It is a little odd seeing Hobbo so frantic and making mistakes. It feels wrong, man. It feels like the universe is out of tilt.
As we have another yellow flag on track. Is that for Rhodey? Must be for Rhodey.
I think. Yeah, it is just Rhodey at that last corner. Oh, we got another one. Glenn Miles on it. Whereabouts? In turn. Oh, whereabouts? It's turn 4, I think he is. So he was very lucky there to not get cleaned up by the battle for 4th, which was behind him, for 5th rather. He's looped it and he ended up almost straddling the racing line. Higginson and Scott Morrow having to take evasive action towards the inside of the track.
Oh, that's harmless. Oh, that is so lucky from Higo from the Porsches.
Yeah.
And he's actually pulled off again. He's actually potentially stuck now.
That'd be right. It'd be like Scott Morrill on the curb at Winton, where he just got completely stuck.
He's slowly inching his way forward. Come on, Glenny boy. Come on, mate. Give it the beans.
We believe in you.
We believe. Do you believe in life after spins?
No.
He's got the car moving.
Hey, go Glenn. Good job.
Either way. And
that could have been just a equipment lag out or something.
Possibly.
Because it looked like, yeah.
Rhodey has deniffed the race. Do we have any more pit callers? Not this time around, I don't think. No one's dropping down the leaderboard, so we're at the halfway point. Unless we've missed some pit callers, it seems strange that we haven't had everyone else in yet.
Well, the lap times for a few of them aren't too bad at this stage. So Nolan's 16.7, Devonish 16.9, Rasmussen is 16.1 on those old tyres, which is pretty impressive. 17.8 for Higginson, 16.1 for Mike, and then the first of the pitters, Oz Rob, on a 15.8. So a few of these guys still aren't losing that much time compared to the guys who have taken those early pit stops. We won't see any representative laps from those that first group until a bit later, but I think Mike might have just come into the pits.
Potentially. I'm just getting down to him now. Was he 7th place?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he has. No.
He just must have had a really, really slow final sector. 52-second final sector for Mike. So,
of course, we'll know if his first sector's on pace, we know he's right. I believe we have Rhodey in the booth at the moment. Rhodey, you with us?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I am. Yeah,
No.
That wasn't how I intended tonight to go.
No, you don't say.
No,
what happened?
I think what's down. It's my case fan settings are done off a manual slider rather than off of a software setting, and I had it set up for running AMS in the background while I was doing liveries, which doesn't require a lot of fan power to cool things. I didn't realize I didn't push the slider up to get it up to high power while I was running the game, which creates a lot more heat. So I think what happened over time is it just locked up because of the heat. So I was going down the front straight, and all of a sudden the screen goes black, and I'm jumped back to the desktop where the game is still running, but refuses to load, refuses to actually show anything. So
Oof.
I still had wheel control, which was good, so I knew roughly where I was, so I pulled to the left, hit the brakes, and from what I was told, I was parked up in a grass field somewhere, so I was out the way. And then set about trying to get Task Manager to shut down AMS for me. So, it's a shame I wasn't up the front of that race, but I was having some fun. And yeah, that's it. And the problem is, the next sim racing I've got, actually, there's Sunday for GTA 3, but after that, I've got a big break about a week where I've got nothing. So I kind of want this night to go a little better than it has. But,
Dang.
While they've been talking there, Rady, we've had Turmo, Devonish, and Rasmussen all come into the pits. So that was 28 to go.
And that's at lap 14. So that's actually twice as many laps as Ozrob got on his first stint.
Rady, you're a racer.
I am.
Two-stop strategy around here is a good idea or a crazy idea?
It's the fuel round. A full tank here is going to last you half the race. So you might just in for tyres, but we saw in the last 5 laps or so, Damien Rasmussen put down a server PB on very used tyres. So I don't think anyone will be two-stopping. Hubbo will have early stopped probably to get onto his green tyres as soon as possible, because now that he knows the track, Hubbo and green tyres is going to be a real threat for anyone up the front. As we've just seen, Hobbo's on a 2:14.8, so
First one to drop into the 14s.
You say
and
that, but
he didn't know the track before he got in tonight. He didn't get a chance to practice. He was in Sydney last night, so this is the Hobbo we don't see. This is a Hobbo unprepared, but yeah, now he's got green tyres and he knows what he's doing. He's going to be flying up those sheets.
because after
The issue is, though... Sorry, go ahead, Keith.
no, I was going to say you go. You're probably more intelligent than I was going to say.
The issue that Hobbo's got is that he's had a few spins trying to make passes in places that he shouldn't have because of that lack of track knowledge. So I did comment, I think before you jumped in, that it's weird to see Hobbo in this sort of frantic, unsure state. So he's actually the last car on the lead lap, I think. No, he's just past Cameron Rutledge now. So in saying that, though, he said purple sector 2 last lap, purple sector 3 last lap, and he's followed it up with a purple sector 1 this lap. So he is on fire. As I am looking at the battle between Steve Bolger and Will Devonish, which has resumed in earnest yet again.
Now, I'm trying to do the math here. I believe that Ozrob will currently be the effective leader.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll be able to get to the pit at the end of the race. Remember, he pitted at lap 7, which was 19 minutes into the race. That's a 40-minute stint on a set of tyres.
As we just saw Scott Murrell come into the pits then.
So, who we got in the pits now then?
And the Camel.
So, Nolan and Camelman and Scott Morrill.
Yeah. Yeah. I was following on the live timing. Yeah, it's just Nathan Higginson and that's Turmo that are pitted. But I think, Ozrob is the effective leader.
This is big as Ozrob's just got ahead of Scott Nolan. So if Ozrob doesn't need to pit again, he is the effective leader of the race. But Nolan's right on his backside on fresh tyres.
Yeah, and Nolan was setting the PBs in Sector 1 up right until Damien put his lap down, and then until Hobbo put his lap down. So
Hobbo's gonna put in another best lap here.
2:13.8.
13.8.
Woohoo! Boy.
Yeah, he's coming.
Yeah, that's an understatement of the century.
Oh Lord, he coming.
Keep an eye on Rasmussen to start throwing some laps down as well, because in the practice session he was the only one to get below the 15s, and he set a 13.5. So keep an eye out for that as they make their way back up the field. So we've got Higginson and Turmo still yet to pit. The gap between Ozrob, who was our effective race leader after the pit stops, is he is what? Well, let me do some maths here. He's 10 seconds behind the lead. Behind him, Scott Nolan's 3 seconds, and then it's 2 seconds to Will Devonish, who's got Bolger right on his tail. And then 6 seconds behind that is Damien Rasmussen. So that's only 11 seconds between Rasmussen and Ozrob. And with the way Rasmussen's practice times were going, I don't think that is insurmountable. I think Rasmussen might be buying in for a race win here, provided Hobbo doesn't run them all down first.
Well, just got eyes on Bolger and Devonish, who Devonish has come from way off the track to hold his position in 5th place. That's a good battle that's going to go for the next 23 minutes of this race, no doubt. Hobson's... What do you reckon of Hobson's chances of getting towards the front? 35 seconds on the leader, but 24 on Ozrob. 20 seconds and 20 minutes, really?
I think that's a little bit of a stretch, especially with the likes of Devonish, Nolan, and Rasmussen ahead of him. I don't think he'll be able to overcome all of them. He'll probably be able to catch up to any one of them on a hot lap sort of thing, but to catch them all and pass them all on a track he's unfamiliar with, it would be a fair stretch.
Yep, as we've just seen Higginson come into the pits as well. So Turmo's the last car yet to pit. It's on the lead lap anyway.
And that was at 38 minutes remaining. 38 minutes completed and lap 16 completed.
Indeed. So what's a pit stop here is worth about what, 20 seconds roughly?
Ooh, as Higginson gets very out of shape. It's about so just based off of Higginson's last sector, it's about 8 seconds at the end of a lap and looks like about 10 seconds at the beginning of a lap. So
okay.
yeah, 20 seconds.
Yep. So Turmo's on track to come out in 7th place, which isn't terrible.
And that would put him between Hobson and all the guys he's chasing as well. So that would add another layer of complication to this end of race scenario. And in fact, Ozrob's actually stretching his lead over Scott Nolan at the head of the field. What did I say it was last time? 3 seconds? It's now out to 4.
I'm just going to correct something here.
Yeah.
Turmo has pitted.
Has he?
Yep.
Oh yeah, he has too.
He has too.
Oh, okay. Well, now that changes everything. So Turmo's leading.
Mm-hmm.
And because he pitted the same lap as Will Devonish and Damien Rasmussen, didn't he?
He did, yes. So he is actually the effective leader, so the field is actually cleansed.
Oh, we've got Nathan Higginson spinning from 7th place. He's reversing it out of the spin and does a flicked J turn.
Wow.
To get back on track. Woo.
Ooh, that deserves a replay. Here you go. Ready?
Go on board with that. Go on board.
I want to.
I want to see what that's like from on board.
Here we go. On board. We're watching on board here on the replay on roof cam. So it gets a bit of grass. Gets the curb nicely. The first pass chicane just gasses on the second. And spins it. And bangs it into reverse and away he goes. Oh, here you go. That is brilliant.
How's the J turn?
Oh, the
How's
J
the
turn.
flick?
The J turn was stunning.
There we go. Rasmussen 13-7. Fastest lap of the race now. He's laying down the gauntlet to the guys ahead of him saying, keep me out of your mirrors if you can. As he now is chasing down the battle for 4th between Bolger and Will Devonish.
That battle has got showing no signs of easing up. Nolan's getting pretty close to Ozrob as well. That gap's under a second.
So Ozrob had a crappy lap last time around. I was just saying, as it looks like Hobson's also made a mistake. He's had a 59 first sector this lap. I'll come back to that in a second. So Ozrob, I was just saying the gap was stretching out the front, 3 or 4 seconds. He made a mistake last time around. Oh no, that's not the right person. I wanted Ozrob, not Turmo. So his middle sector? No, his last sector. No, Ozrob's last lap was a 15.6. So no, it was just that Nolan hit a 14.3. So
Ooh.
These guys are all accelerating towards the end of the race, and it's becoming...
Of course, Ozrob was the first to pit. 41 minutes to go.
Yeah, so his tires would be screaming out for some help at this stage of the race.
At this point,
So
sorry, you go.
I was trying to work that out because, as I was saying, I would have thought that Ozrob might have had a bad lap, but a 15.6 is still pretty good lap time. But it's just the matter that everyone else has just lifted. So Nolan a 14.3, Devonish 15.2, Bolger 15.6, and then Rasmussen a 13.7, and then Hobson with the missing lap time because of that first sector indiscretion. So yeah, those tires are definitely coming back to bite Ozrob now, and you can just see how much later he has to get on the throttle out of the corners and how much more he's trying to square the corners off to get down the straights because there's just no grip left in the back of that car.
And 18 minutes is a long time to go with that sort of car.
Yeah, yes indeed it is.
See it.
Okay, I was going to say lap times this time around.
Mhm.
Turmo 14.9, Ozrob 16.2, Nolan 14.9, Devonish 15.7, Bolger 15.4, and Rasmussen a 15.1. So Rasmussen not making any inroads in that lap to the guys around him. But importantly, Nolan making big inroads into Ozrob, so much though that he's going to have a peek through here, tries to get the over-under in. He's gone the outside of this corner. There's not really that much room there.
They've touched a bit. They've touched a bit
The
more.
Overlap, there's a little bit of touch. I'd say be patient and do it here. Get the front of the car, just let it float out wide, get the run, and then get it done into 7. Is he going to be able to do that? No, Ozrob's got the line covered off very nicely, but he's compromised the entry here, and that could see him get undercut on the exit.
But it does look like the Scott Nolan went just that little bit wider on exit, compromises entry a little bit, and he's going to send it anyway.
What? What? Sends it. They managed to sneak through side by side, and Nolan gets the position.
Oh. I was just about
That's
to say...
not a passing opportunity. Damn.
It's not? Tell these guys that.
No.
I was just
Not
going
in the
to say that he just compromises entry, but no, he still got the move done.
Bloody oath.
Yeah. Oh, and then spins
no,
it.
he's left it.
Oh,
Oh,
dear.
no.
Oh, no.
They're right on the racing line as well. Devonish gets through. He gets through. Is Rasmussen going to get through? Yes, he gets through. Oh, no. After all that work. And he's had to loop it around the background.
That is a massive shame.
And safety car. We've gone safety car.
We have got a safety car.
I
Wow.
didn't even think there was a safety car in this series.
There is. We've seen it.
Have we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've seen it. So the safety car we have, once everyone grids up or gets together, we'll have up to 3 laps of safety car, which means we're going to have like an 8-minute dash to the end of the race, potentially.
And that'll be a time.
That will be a massive
Have
time.
we got the safety car around on track? Are we able to see the safety car?
I can't get it on camera. We'll just have to see when Turmo gets up to it. They weren't that far from the pit lane, so I'm assuming it won't be that far away.
Oh, there it is. It is currently in turn 7, I think.
And we're coming through
I've
4
lost it
now.
again.
See,
Okay,
supercars,
I'm-
this is how you deploy a safety car.
I'm trying to find the aerial shot. There it is. Oh yeah, so it is in just ahead of them. They're coming towards it now. It's just gone through turn 6. So Turmo will see it just as he gets around the corner. Then it will be lap down Cam Rutledge, and then behind him will be Will Devonish, Steve Bolger. Sorry, Steve, we do that every single time. Damien Rasmussen, and then Ozrob, and then Scott Nolan. So, who was the last of our pit stops? Our last of our pit stops was Scott Nolan, Scott Murrell, and Nathan Higginson. So maybe Nolan, despite his little dip on the tires, he might have a little bit of tire life left in this situation.
Now, you definitely don't pit now, do you? Do you take the risk as the safety car just almost takes out Turmo? Has the safety car had some wines? What is this?
If I was maybe a Hobson, I might, just because like you're not going to lose that much track position anyway. So I think in fact the guys behind Hobson are Coulston, Scott Murrell, Cam Rutledge, who's a lap down, and Glenn Miles, who's many laps down. So if I was a Hobson, I might just go, yeah, I'll chuck on a fresh set of boots.
Okay.
Maybe Luke Joyner as well. Maybe even Ozrob. Maybe not Ozrob. Ozrob's a bit. Actually, though, considering that Ozrob has, he's got not a lot of life left on those tires. Yeah, maybe Ozrob as well.
Now I'm just trying to think this
sort
out
of.
because Cam Rutledge is ahead of Turmo at the moment.
Is he getting the wave around, or what's going on?
We'll find out in a second. I'm just also checking for pit callers. None from the front grippers pit. Yeah, Cam's obviously getting the wave around because away he goes. Yeah, he was between the safety car. There's Higo. Nope, no pit callers so far. Now there be Hobson. No, he's not pitting.
That's lame.
I think with 12 minutes left, it's just asking too much.
Yeah, but no, I would do it.
Yeah,
You know me, I'm all for a crazy strategy call.
yeah. So am I. My strategy calls normally involve taking turn 4 on my roof.
Your strategy calls are less strategy calls and incident reports.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Too mean?
Car number 17 on roof at Chase.
Like, you laugh, but I have heard someone make a call like that on a at an event that I was marshalling.
Aha.
Yeah.
So
Everyone was okay. Everyone was fine. In fact, the car flipped back over and then kept going. So
was this Super Trucks?
no, this was not Super Trucks. This was one of the support categories for the Bend Super Sprint. There was, I think it was a Mini that clipped one of the curbs on the inside of the track, flipped onto its roof, and then because that corner goes back downhill, it was turn 14 for those playing along at home at the Bend. Because that corner goes back downhill, rolled back onto its wheels and kept going. So I had a call over the radio. Oh, we've had a car on its roof. And then race control were just like, what's happening with the car? Is everyone okay? Is the driver indicator? It's like, oh no, it's gone, it's rolled away. It's like it's gone back onto its wheels and kept going. It's just like,
Yeah. See, I always thought if you rolled your cars on an automatic, no, we can't trust the structural integrity of this, you're out of the race. But apparently not.
I mean, he did go back into the pits,
Okay.
so you know, discretion was used there as the safety car just tries to kill everyone as it
God.
goes through the bottom of the hill. Just everyone's fanned out some Aussie racing car style flat grid there.
Good. So, why did JB Windcap get fined if the safety car driver does drink a lot of wine?
Oh, don't start that mess.
No, I know. So yeah, apparently there's a lucky dog in this series, which is what Cam got.
Oh, okay. So we have to
Yeah,
wait for Cam to catch up, or
Yeah, that's why I was coming back in. No, it'll go when it goes, but yeah, there's an option under AMS to run Lucky Dog. I believe we run it in GT3 before, but
Right.
it's the first time I've seen it in a little while. No, it's good because normally it's me that's the first car I lap down. Yeah, the fun part for Cam was that the safety car is slow around everything, most of the sector, and then it's doing what AI cars do. And
Oh,
just
we have
a straight line.
Yeah.
So
There we go, Ozrob. Yes, yes, someone listened.
Yeah, I was thinking the Hobbo might go in. People hop on Osrob because they're on the oldest tyres. It gives them, this is basically a sprint finish now. The other thing to looking out for is we're not sure, and actually we're probably worried.
We're actually gone back to green. No,
No.
that was just. I was just looking at Ozrob and it's got a green indicator. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, we're having a chat in the race chat. Hobbo may or may not know the safety car restart procedure. Hopefully he does, but if he doesn't, he's looking to be penalised by the game.
Who, Hobson or
Hobson? Yeah, because Hobson. We're worried that he wasn't here to pick up the safety car restart procedure info.
Oh, okay.
He just might not know anyway. And this is part of the thing. If he's this more so for him because he's swapped between games, and swapped between series, so he's got different, procedures to memorize for what he's doing. But if he doesn't, the game's going to ping him for a penalty, and we don't have live stewards, so we can't fix that. Otherwise, yeah, Hobbo for a win, I reckon. Hobbo or Rasmussen, they've both been putting down quick laps.
Yeah, I was going to say not so much Hobson because he's still got to get through 8 cars. It'll probably, to me, more be Rasmussen or even Will Devonish. I think Devonish, he's smart enough and mature enough as a driver to make smart decisions in a situation like this. And it is only 1 car between him and the lead. So that would be my picks, Rasmussen or Devonish.
I'm going to say Higginson. Why not?
Higginson?
Yeah, why not?
You do like a meme team, don't you?
I do.
No, no offense, Nathan, when you watch this back. No offense, but
I like to pick people that are out of the box.
Yeah.
And he was his tyres. He only came in with 22 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's true.
So
of the guys out there, Higo's going to have the best tyres for those who don't pit. So
well, remember he did spin and do basically a flick turn.
As we see, the safety car back the field up again.
3rd time around that same corner.
Yep. It's just doing it. Just make sure everyone's awake.
That would be a bad time if we were racing in this series.
Oh yeah. coming in like a wrecking ball. So we have.
Oh, don't remind me of that incident.
So we have what is it? 3 laps behind the safety car.
This is the 3rd lap. So this is, yeah, the 3rd lap. Hopefully the safety car lights will go out this time by
7 minutes on the clock. It's going to be a great sprint race to the finish.
If everyone starts forming up nicely, then that's a good clue that the safety car's coming in.
Safety car is not coming in.
It goes around another time. Harbo, pit now.
That's good.
Harbo, pit now. Harbo, do it.
And
No
Oswald
one.
catch the back. Oswald's going to catch the back of the field. So will Glenn and
Cam Rutledge.
might be able to do the same as well within the time he's got.
So we're doing 3-minute laps with the safety car. So we're going to have about 4 minutes to go next time by.
Which should work out to be 3 laps because it's a 2-minute 15-ish lap. And remember, the way we run the races in OZTCAC Retro is that you do the full allotment of time plus an additional lap after the buzzer.
Indeed.
So this should end up being a 26-lap adventure around the Curvelo circuit.
Go on, try to pronounce its proper name. Come on.
Oh, I didn't even have the proper name up anymore. I kind of got rid of it because it scared me. What? Let's have a look here. Circuito dos Cricias. How'd I go?
I think you need the pronunciation in the last phrase of that.
Yeah.
What was that?
Well, I reckon it's more like, now that I've said I'm going to pronounce it, I can't read it. Circuito dos Cristeas.
Cristeas?
Yeah, I reckon there's a bit more syllables in that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just glad this track has a corner called Boomerang. At least I can pronounce that one.
Yeah, that one's a nice safe one.
Yeah. Okay, so hopefully this time by we'll be going green. You can have enough of us talking absolute rubbish.
Oh,
I'm going to fly back off to the race chat.
Okay, we'll catch you later, Roadie, as I think I saw Nathan Higginson like all 4-wheel sideways in the middle of that corner under safety car.
You did see that.
And watch everyone crash into each other again as they go through this really slow corner.
Yeah,
that the safety car takes.
Yeah, I don't know what the safety car is so AI programmed not quite correctly through here. Because this is one of the tracks that actually exists in the game, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a default track.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah. At least the drivers all know.
They've sorted it out this time.
Yep, good work. So hopefully this time by, because if we don't go this time by, we're going to have 1 minute on the clock.
Yeah, that would be annoying, wouldn't it?
Everyone's in position.
Yeah, they're just coming through the Sector 3 marker now, heading towards the last complex of corners. So this is turn, I think, 16?
Yeah.
17. This is the Boomerang.
The Boomerang, yep. And the safety car lights are still on. So we come through the final corner. And
Looks like Termo's backing everyone up.
here we go. As I have a Pinterest thing trying to get back in my way, back her off you. Are we going green this time by? Excellent. Whoa, bit of contact on the start
in the
there.
middle of the field.
Yeah, who was that?
Everyone's very gently coming towards the line. I think it's you wait until you hit the line is the rule in this series. And we finally go. Termo holds it very late. Devonish has gone with him though. And whereabouts? They're trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. There's a little touch between Nolan and Rasmussen. Roland goes around the side and takes third position. He's going to be able to hold it in there in between Bolger. Yes, he does. Now Higginson's dying into it as well. They're 3 wide as they go through turn 3.
Oh, that was 3 wide, 3 cars touching. That was madness.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Luke Joyner's come out of nowhere.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, Devonish has had a lock up at the head of the field. So he's run a little wide. So it's now Termo P1, Devonish P2, Scott Nolan's back into P3, Joyner 4, Higginson 5, Rasmussen and Hobson trying to inject themselves into Higginson's engine in 6 and 7. And then Steve Bolger has lost a huge chunk of time. He's now in 8th after that mess, we'll call it.
Meanwhile, the Saudi Camel down the inside of Bolger into the back of Hobson and takes 8th place from Bolger.
And Hobson's gone wide again. So now that changes everything. So it's still Turmo leading the way, and he's actually led everyone else away as Joyner.
Oh, Bolger's gone around. Bolger has gone around, as has Scott Murrell as well.
Oh, bloody boy.
Okay.
And
I'm not going to bother with any replays of that because this is just crazy racing.
yeah, and at the head of the field, Devonish is looking vulnerable. In fact, he's just been passed by Scott Nolan. Devonish doesn't look like he's got the legs. He's got the inside line, but he's given position away.
And Rasmussen's just got up Higginson, and now Hobson and Mike the Saudi Camel as well.
Whoa. Don't know where to look at this stage.
Okay, that was... And they're still fighting down the front straight between the Camel, and the Camel's going to... I'm thinking the Camel... Mike locks up through turn 1 and gives Higginson the pace back, and Ozrob's now on the fresh tyres on the outside of 2. Can he get the move done with a good exit into the last corner? Yes, he can. So across the line with just 2 laps to go, the order's totally changed.
Well, one thing that hasn't changed, though, is the order at the front. So Turmo still has about a second lead, but it's now Scott Nolan he's got to fend off. Remember, Nolan was one of our pitters as well. He pitted on lap 15 with 35 minutes completed. So he's got some of the freshest tyres in the field, and he skipped past Devonish quite easily in the end. Devonish didn't look like they were able to defend from him at all. And then it's Luke Joyner, and then Rasmussen and Hobson in 5th and 6th.
That was mad.
There's still more of it left. We've still got at least 2 more laps to go.
Yep, as we see Higginson just get it a little bit wrong, and now Ozrob's going to make his way past for 7th place. And the Saudi Camel is coming back from 9th place and should probably get round him here. Nathan,
not quite.
No, Nathan will be disappointed with that start. He was looking so good. It just gone to a bit too much mischief as he very squirrely out of that corner, and now Mike has another look on the inside. They make contact and Mike takes to the grass on the inside.
Oh, Rasmussen's around. He's around at turn 7. Oh, he's lost it all. He's in the freaking weeds out there as he the circuit. He's now 9th place, and that was all because he tried to make a move on Luke Joyner. They made side-to-side contact on the exit, and that is Rasmussen's race cooked.
All right, let's try and figure out what happened here, because that was something. My computer just freaks out for a sec. There we go. So on the, I just gassed it up a bit early, and away she wrote.
Nah, there was definite contact on the exit there.
There was definite contact?
Yeah, it was. He didn't necessarily squeeze Rasmussen there, but there was just a moment there where they made side-to-side contact, and that was enough in combination with the wheel spin as well to just send him around.
In the meantime, time has expired, so Nick, we're on the penultimate lap now. Hobson in 5th place, very close to Luke Joyner. Can he get 4th, and can he get up to Devonish for 3rd? Probably not in 1 lap to go, as Turmo comes across the line now to start what will be the final lap of the race.
So gaps at the front of the field, 1.3 seconds between Turmo and Scott Nolan. Last time around, Turmo 15.6, Nolan a 15.9, Devonish a 16.2, Joyner a 17.2, and Brenton Hobson a 15.6. So Hobson's leaving some Morse code in the back of Luke Joyner's rear bumper. But the more time he spends behind Luke, the further away Will Devonish is, and the more likely Devonish is going to get a podium.
Finally he gets some weight in that car.
He's been floating under the radar this entire series.
Yeah. And Ozrob's not going away either.
Yeah, remember, Ozrob's got brand new tyres on that car as well, so he's going to be very around a 15.1, so the fastest of anyone that lap. He's on the inside of Hobson as they head into turn 6. Thinks better of it there, but He's definitely putting the pressure on Hobson to the point where Hobson's let Joyner get away.
And yes, well, she will pay you out at odds of $1.50 to 1. How's that? So, with half a lap to go... I'm going distracted by YouTube chat. It's been inappropriate. It looks like Turmo's going to take the win here. 1.5 seconds ahead of Scott Nolan currently. Been a great race by Turmo.
He snuck under everyone's radar, didn't he?
He sort of like even our radar. We forgot to pick up the fact he pitted, but just stuck it out front and got the job done.
This battle 4th to 6th, though, this is where the action's at, as Joyner is holding up Hobson, who's right in the clutches of Ozrob as well. They're literally nose to tail as they head into the top end of the circuit here, turns 15 and 16. Only a few corners left. It looks like Joyner's still got the upper hand as Turmo comes into the last corner complex to end the race.
Meanwhile, Ozrob down the inside of Hobson can't get it done, and that's going to cost him a lot of time, so that should close that off. And we're now looking at Turmo, flashing his lights. Well done, mate, as he's running out of... Nope, that's all right. He crossed the line for a great first place. Well done, Turmo. Great win. Second place will be Scott Nolan. Third place, Will Devonish in the Opal. Fourth place, Luke Joyner, just from... The hell was that? Hobson, he has the crash behind. Ozrob in 6th as they go demo derby mode. Mike Colson in 7th. New Boy, Nathan Higginson in 8th. Damien Rasmussen will bring it home in 9th place. Steve Bolger in 10th. Go on, flip it. Aww. Oh!
He got close.
He got close. Scott Murrow was wiping his car out in 11th. Cam Rutledge in 12th. And Glenn Miles in 13th place. And the last of the finishes. 3 DNFs tonight. Rhodey, Scotty G, and our new boy, Damien Keane.
Wow, great job from Turmo. As I said, he snuck under everyone's radar. He kind of popped out at the head of the field. No one really knew where he came from after the pit stops, and held off the charge of Scott Nolan and Will Devonish at the end of the race to maintain the win, which I think is his... This isn't his first win in OZTCAC, because I remember him winning that cracking race at Goiânia in the finale between, not in the finale, between him and Mike in the green stuffed mini last series out, which was an absolute cracker. So, yeah, congratulations to Turmo. Very well done.
That was a fantastic race. And also, really good drive from Luke Joyner as well to bring it home in 4th in the end.
Yeah, after some pretty hard pressure from the likes of Hobson and Ozrob at the end. And Joyner was one of the earlier pit stoppers as well, pitting at lap 11. So to get to the end of the race on those tyres is pretty impressive.
Yep. Now we have a few of those guys in the booth here. We've got our race winner Turmo and Will Devonish who finished 3rd. Boys, what a race!
Yeah, we'll start with Turmo first, if he's going to unmute himself. I'll just ask questions. If not, he can just reply in the chat. Turmo, you kind of snuck under everyone's radar. Yeah, well done. How did that race play out from your perspective? Is he going to reply in the chat? Who knows?
So what some people don't know is Turmo's actually a mute.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, there you go. Oh, we've got Turmo's interpreter in the chat as well.
Hello. Hello, I am Turmo's interpreter.
Beautiful. How was that race?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I interpret on Turmo's behalf. He is a great racer, but unfortunately his voice box is not as good as his speed. Therefore, I will present his input and his thoughts on that race.
Okay, sure.
Excellent.
How was that race from your perspective, Turmo's interpreter?
From the perspective of Turmo, that race was what he has been asking for a long time. He has had the pace. He has just not been able to utilize it. He was lucky with that restart, and he is so thrilled for that win. He did let out a few expletives, which unfortunately do not come across in an interpretive manner that is a safe way for the broadcast, but he is very excited for that win.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
It was a bloody good drive, we got to say.
He thanks you greatly for your input on his speed.
Fantastic. Congratulations, Turmo, on your first win in PCAC Retro.
He says thank you very much.
Second place tonight was, and I'm just going to mute Turmo's interpreter because I can hear myself through him. Second place tonight was, I can't even remember anymore. What's happened? It was Scott Nolan. Scott, that last section of the race, you ended up bringing out the safety car with that incident, but you managed to get back on the horse and had a really good restart. How was that last stint from your perspective?
rubbish.
Oh, well. Okay, moving on. No. You seem to have a
Is
bit
it
of pace
enough?
at the end there, though.
As my internet just dies.
No, I think we lost Scott.
Scotty internet dies. Oh, it's been the night of
Okay,
that,
we'll
hasn't
move
it?
on. Yeah, it has been the night of technical difficulties. Is it like Friday the 13th or something as well? Damn.
Have you got me
Scotty's back. Yay.
Yes, we got you back.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there, but yeah. Look, I just another way to throw away a win. Yeah, we were quite cruising out there in front, and then I overshot my pit marker because I forgot I was in second gear in the pit lane. So anyway, and then yeah, I don't know why, but someone that obviously didn't have enough fuel decided to block pretty hard with 15 minutes to go, but that's their prerogative. I got around Rob, and then yeah, for some reason I just lost the rear, and it brought out a safety car which was pretty rubbish. It shouldn't have been a safety car. There was no major incident, but and we would have finished sixth, so that was kind of lucky. We got back to second, but yeah, disappointed. It's been like 3 rounds in a row now, so not in the championship hunt. So I'm just going for race wins.
Yeah, it's all those little things that build the bigger picture that can sometimes, break apart a race. And yeah, it sounds like the little things didn't go your way tonight.
Oh, it was just a nut behind the wheel. Yeah,
Well, I did say the little thing. I did say the little things.
Well, maybe it is a little, but yeah. Look, I don't know, but congrats to Termo. He probably deserved that. He's had good pace and hasn't quite got a result. So for him to get a result tonight's good. But yeah. Anyway, we'll go to the next round.
Go to the next one. Next one, 10 kilos extra heavy for you. Are you excited about that prospect?
Look, as I said, I'm not in the championship hunt, so any weight I can take off my teammate is good. So I'm in the team game. He's the one leading the championship, or was up until tonight. I think he still is. But so I support him. We're a team, and yeah, I just took 10 kilos probably from him. So he did well to get out there tonight. He literally got home 15 minutes before the server opened. Never done a lap of the track, so yeah, he was happy just to get points.
Yeah.
Yeah, good on you tonight, Scott. Second place, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you up the top step of the rostrum in the future. Third place tonight, the first podium for the series for Will Devonish. Yeah, Will, great job.
Yeah, was a good race, and happy to pull it home from being pretty much dead last from the start. So yeah, happy with that result.
Finally getting
this
some
is
weight
also
in that thing.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is going to be your first instance of weight getting added to that Opal. Does that make you excited?
A little bit. I didn't want too much, so I'd settle for the third.
Okay, yes. Strategic play. And because you knew Hobson was lower down, so you knew that you could just lay off and just take the lower kilos and not lose that much of a points advantage trying to chase him back, right?
100%.
Yeah, of course. 40 chess over here with Will Devonish.
Now, well, we read that these cars had been changed a bit in terms of their handling characteristics. Were they easier to drive this race compared to others?
Yeah, they've had a bit of a rear chassis alignment, which makes them a lot better in the braking zones. They used to be absolutely rubbish, and the back end always wanted to turn around on you. So that's been sorted out quite a bit, and they're a lot better under brakes. And it's also they're a bit more grippy in the rear as well. So
cool.
they're a lot nicer to drive. Not as easy as the front wheels as last year. But yeah, they're a lot nicer to drive and a lot more fun to drive as well.
Because we still saw quite a few people spinning out, so obviously there's still that balance there. But even Hobbo was going around a couple of times.
Yeah, well, this track's it's absolute murder on the rear tires, especially that left, the right rear. So it's really easy to if you put the boot down, it's really easy to flick it around.
Indeed. Well, that's my 2 smart questions done. Michael, you got anything else?
Nah, I'm cooked for tonight. It's been one of those nights. Thank you very much to our top 3, Termo, Scott Nolan, and Will Devonish, and congratulations on your positions.
And congratulations, Nathan Higginson, on was that your first race with us?
Yeah, first race with you guys. Well, not technically, but first series race. The first race I did was the Bathurst 3 hour a couple of months back.
How'd you find it?
it was really, really good, to be honest. Love racing with these guys. They're a great bunch to race with.
Awesome. And you
Oh,
did,
that's remarkably wholesome.
yeah. And I thought you actually did pretty well. I actually was cheering you on in that final stint because I made a crazy prediction that you'd come through and win it. So
Thanks.
no
Bold
worries.
prediction.
So on that note, if looks like we're done for the night. Sorry about all the technical issues, everybody. That was something.
Yeah, it's not just us as well from the game as well. Just been one of those nights. So we got the stream up in the end. Thank you very much for tuning in, and hopefully the drivers when they go. Hopefully you enjoy the broadcast. Next round for us is in 2 weekends' time at Ibarra, which is another one of the Brazilian racetracks that no one's heard of. So that'll be a standard 2-race format, so 25 and a 35.
Indeed.
And yeah.
And it's going to be fun. It's Bathurst week, so it's already a good week for us, so that'll be a fun stream to call.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's going to be great.
So we'll see you then. Until that time, I'm not Michael Zalvari. That's not Chris Riddell. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Peace out.